What is going on, YouTube? This is Platinum Point, and I'm here to bring you guys yet again another Weiss Schwarz deck profile. This time it is going to be on Kanokadi, or Rent a Girlfriend. So it recently came out in January, and I managed to get my hands on a deck from my buddy of mine. He busted into a few cases, I think. Oh no, 2 cases. And he managed to sell me a build that I was testing around online. So the reason why I like this build is it's centered around 2 climax combos, which is the Ruka 1-step and the Chizuru 3-2 finisher. So the reason why I like this pairing is traditionally I like the pants and the door pair since they synergize well. Since they both are plussing triggers that complement each other extremely well. This deck, it has a lot of utility in that it can go through its first deck really fast and basically get what you need. So the goal of this deck is to just speed through your deck to get through all your resources that you need and force refreshes when you need to. And ultimately, this deck specializes in filtering, and deck manipulation, which is something that I tried to work on a lot with Weiss, since Weiss is a game of risk management and deck manipulation. So this set really did kind of I gravitated really quickly to the set when I saw what it can do. So without further ado, let's get on to the deck profile. So of course I run 4 of each of the climaxes, so we don't have to worry about that. Starting off with the 0-step. So I play 4 copies of the Ruka Clean Cut. So when I control another Kanokadi character, it becomes a 3k Clean Cut. So this is one of your main plussing zeros, as it allows you to save your utility zeros for later turns and build stock at the 0-step, which is really nice. Next, we play 4 copies of the Ruka Rize. So when this comes into when you control 2 Kanokadi characters, it gains plus 1k, so it's a 3k oversize. And if it gets reversed, you can reveal up to the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose a Kanokadi character among them, add it to your hand, discard a card. So this is your one of your main forms of hand fixing throughout the game, since this card basically you use it to crash into a lane and hand filter and kind of get your deck into a better deck state. So that's it for this Ruka. Continuing on with the theme of deck filtering, we play 4 copies of the trial deck Chizuru, level 0. So when this comes into play, it has actually 2 on-play abilities. The first one is, when it comes into play, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Kanokadi character, add it to your hand, discard a card. And then the second ability is discard a Kanokadi character to draw a card. So this is essentially the Cowgirl promo from Goblin Slayer, but in the trial deck, which is really nuts. And this is one of the reasons why this deck is actually really consistent, because you're constantly fixing your hand and getting deeper into your deck for pieces that you need. And then after that, we play 3 copies of the Salvage Brainstormer. I'm trying to remember again her name. Sumi, yeah. This character is one of my favorite characters in Kanokadi, honestly. So her ability is, if another character gets reversed, you can choose another character, give it plus 500, and it's a pay 1 tap Salvage Brainstorm. So this is your main Brainstormer of the deck, since the Ruka combo digs into your deck. I needed a Brainstorm that complements this, which is salvaging, and the Sumi fits that role really nicely. Speaking of Ruka, we play 2 copies of the bottom deck Reverser Ruka. So when it gets reversed, you can If your opponent's character is level 0, you can send it to the bottom of their deck. And it has the act ability, pay 1, send this to the waiting room, top 4 check, and add a Kanokari character from them and to your hand, and then add it to your hand and send the rest to waiting room. So this is one of your main forms of selective milling. So this helps you dig deeper into your deck and also clean out your stock. And then lastly, we play the 2/1 Chizuru Christmas outfit. So when it comes into play, pay 1, discard 1 Kanokari character, and then check the top up to the top 4 cards of your deck, and then add 1 and send the rest to waiting room. So now onto the ones. We play 4 copies of the Ruka one-step climax combo, which pairs with the pants. So what this combo does is, on attack, discard 1 card from your hand, check up to the top 4 cards of your deck, and then you can add up to 2 Kanokari characters from among them to your hand, and then send the rest to the waiting room. And most of the time, you're gonna select 2 because it's basically a 1-for-1. Actually, it's essentially a +1. So this is your main plussing combo, and the reason why I like this combo is it reminds me a lot of the Zekken Yuki combo, except instead of a pay 1, discard 1, search 2, this is a unattack, discard 1, top 4 check, add 2. So this is a pretty decent costless version of the Yuki combo that combos with a really nice plussing trigger. So that's why I kind of like this. And another thing I also like this is, with this build, you can consistently slam this more than 2 or 3 times per game. So I found myself slamming this multiple times per game and just accruing so much advantage and fixing my hand when it's in awkward states. So this is the reason why I like this combo, is because it's good throughout the game, and it's just a strong plussing 1-step. Next, we play 2 copies of the Ruka anti-standby support. So this is basically like the Edity from Saikano, the 1/0 Edity. So if you control another Kano character, it gains +1k, and if it faces a level 2, it gains +6k. So this becomes an 11/5, and with Climax, it's a 12/5. So this helps you answer most 2/2s. And since Data Live is still running rampant in JP, in the JP meta, this helps you kind of answer that. Next, we play 2 copies of the Ruka Adachi. So this is a clock reverser Adachi. So when it gets reversed, if your opponent's character is higher than their level, you can send it to clock, and your opponent sends the top card of their clock to the waiting room and then puts that character into clock instead. So this helps you answer early plays, which is really nice. Next, we play 2 copies of the Ruka 2K backup. This one is actually probably one of the most busted 2K backups I've ever seen in the game. So what it does is, not only it's a 2K backup, but if you use this as a backup, it gains the accelerate ability, which is you choose a character from your waiting room and put it to the bottom of your clock. Then you can check up to the top 4 cards of your deck and add a Kanokari character from among them and send the rest to waiting room. So this is basically Torch and a 2K backup in 1 card, and it's searchable throughout the game. So this card is really fucking busted. It's such a good card, and it's an amazing thing that Bushiroad actually made a card like this. And then now for the 2 steps, we play 2 copies of the Chizuru Free Fresh Backup. It's a generic Free Fresh Backup. Next, we play 1 copy of the Ruka Climax Swapper, level 2. So when it comes into play, if you have 4 or more Kanokari characters, you choose 1 from your waiting room and put into stock. So this pays for itself, and then And then you can pay 1, discard a climax, salvage a climax. So this is just there if you need to tie up some loose ends. And get your finisher online. And then lastly, we play the 2-1 pants support, Chizuru. So it's a global 1k to Kanokade characters, and it gives Chizuru's plus an additional 500. So it's a 1500 support for Chizuru. And if you trigger a door on the attack trigger, you can discard 1, check up to the top 2 cards of your deck, and rearrange them in any order. So this allows you to trigger confirmation and modulate your attack order. Or modify your attack order. And then now onto the level 3s. We play 1 copy of the 3-2 Chizuru. So when this comes into play, you can check up to the top 3 and add a card from among them and send the rest to the waiting room. And it also pairs with the door. So when this door is in play, you can send this to the waiting room, choose the 3-2 Chizuru finisher from the waiting room, and play it on top, play it where it was. So this is a changer, which is I play it as a 1-of. Next, we play 4 copies of the early play stock heal Chizuru. So when she comes into play, you can discard a card, put the top card of your clock into stock, and her early play conditions if you have 4 or more Kanokade characters. So this is easily a 10k early play heal to stock, which is really nice. And it's basically Aqua, the mesmerizing water goddess Aqua. And then lastly, the Chizuru finisher. So this is your main finisher in the deck. You might be curious, why am I only playing 1 of her change pair? The reason why is I'm not in this build. I don't mind hard casting multiple of this 3-2 Chizuru, since you don't really need to play this that much, since the top 3 check is rarely needed, since you're playing the pants trigger to basically and since triggering a pants will get you the door that you need. So really, it's just there for flavor. It's there for the bonus of being able to tri-field with ease the finisher. So, what this finisher does is it's an on-play heal, whether it's from hand or the this climax combo. So when this climax is in play, it gains the following ability. On attack, pay 1, discard 1, burn 2, and it gains plus 1k. And the ability, if this card is front attack, bounce it to your hand. So this is basically both the reason why I draw parallels to the 3-2 my finisher from Bunny Girl Senpai, as it hits for 2, it basically essentially hits for 2 damage on the climax combo, and it can dodge on reverse climax combos. So this card essentially allows you to finish, and if you can't finish your opponent and your opponent survives, they cannot if they have reverse finishers, they cannot get their combo on the crackback. So that's why I play this combo, because it allows you to close the game, and if you don't have the opportunity to finish this, you have the option to basically retreat on the crackback and replay it next turn if you have enough stock to just once again try to kill your opponent. So that's why I like this finisher so much. It's really strong for what it does. So I hope you guys like this deck profile. I know it was really quick that I actually picked up this deck like with just recently this week. So I hope you guys like this deck. I've been thinking about I was thinking about building this set after seeing all the reveals, and I managed to pick it up. So the next deck you will likely see me profiling on this channel is going to be playing the other version of Fate Grand Order, so I will probably profile this version, since this version is one of my favorite builds of FGO. So that probably will be my next deck profile, or I am going to probably do a first time deck profile of my Data Live deck, just to get ready for its release. I'll probably showcase the deck. Other than that, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. False crack that like button. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Catch you guys again later, guys. Stay on point.